Hello and welcome back to part 2 of the Goosebumps Censorship series. Today, we'll be looking at some of the cuts made to the Jetix airings of Goosebumps. The following airings we'll be looking at aired sometime around 2006. Unfortunately, I do not have specific dates on when the episodes aired, and these particular airings are not from the UK, but after some research it seems most of the Jetix airings were cut and censored the same way for most of Europe. Also, if you haven't watched part 1 yet, I recommend you do, as this will provide some more context to the Goosebumps airings in the UK on CBBC and Jetix, focusing mainly on the CBBC airings and the censorship it suffered. Goosebumps originally aired on Fox Kids in countries such as the United States and England around the mid to late 90s. During this time, broadcast standards were looser, especially concerning mild horror, scary imagery, and even the occasional dark themes. Fox Kids had also marketed Goosebumps towards an older children's demographic around the ages to 8 to 13, so things like eerie lighting, monster makeup, or characters being in danger were more acceptable. These versions that aired and the ones on YTV in Canada were presented mostly uncut. Unfortunately, after Fox Family Worldwide was bought by Disney, Fox Kids would rebrand as Jetix, though Goosebumps continued to air, but with some changes. Some of these airings would become more censored, and even certain episodes banned or barely shown at all. The Jetix brand was owned by Disney, and its programming standards were stricter. Jetix positioned itself as a fun action-adventure network, with a target audience slightly younger, aging around 6 to 11. So, let's take a look at some of these Jetix airings and see what was cut and censored for the younger age demographic. Let's start with the episode Calling All Creeps. This episode was slightly more censored on Jetix compared to CBBC in terms of length. The Jetix version completely removes the transformation shots of both the 3 students and the ending, though it shows more footage during the ending compared to the CBBC version. Next, we'll look at the episode Attack of the Jack-O-Lanterns. This episode only has one scene that was shortened, Drew's nightmare about the old couple that collects trick-or-treaters. This was cut likely due to it being a lot darker and more frightening than the rest of the episode. The next episode, Return of the Mummy, is arguably the most interesting episode in terms of what was cut and why. The first thing to be cut was some dialogue during the discussion about the mummy's hand.
The guy said it can call forth the dead. He said it was a real mummy's hand.
I hope you didn't pay too much. That's one of the oldest scams around.
Hey!
Oh, it's a worm.
That's because it communicates with the dead.
That's because you've been carrying it around in your pocket.
I'll tell you what, you can try out your summoner on the prince, but first we have to find him.
This was likely due to several uses of the word dead. The next part was a removal of a fade out and fade in, resulting in several shots being cut. After this, during the scene where we first see the mummy, much of the close-up shots are removed. Then, more close-up shots. Interestingly, a shot has been used twice in the Jetix version, replacing a previous close-up. Here's how it plays out in each version. More close-ups and dialogue of the mummy are removed.
Remember, you were weak. I was strong. I was the one who ruled. Do you remember? Do you remember, my brother?
I remember!
Another close-up shot is removed. More close-up shots are removed as he tries to use the mummy's hand again. Again, another close-up shot. Then, a piece of dialogue,
Old Egyptian custom. When you get a lousy gift, you're stuck.
and finally, a bit of dialogue about getting back to where the dead stay off their feet.
The dead stay off their feet. But hey, maybe you come.
The episode, Shocker on Shock Street, only has one scene that was trimmed, but heavily. The majority of the scene where Erin and Marty are on the ride is cut, skipping from the hands being in their faces to the Tunnel of Doom. Lastly, we have Scarecrow Walks at Midnight. This episode features several cuts to remove frightening scenes involving scarecrows. The first scene is the nightmare sequence. The next part to be edited was the fade out and fade in. The Jetix version cuts to the fade out a lot earlier, losing several shots. Next, we have one short shot of the headless scarecrow. The entire dialogue of Stanley reading out the spell from the book is cut. Shots of the scarecrows attacking have been removed. Again, more shots of the scarecrows attacking. Thank you for watching, and I hope you enjoyed. Please like and or subscribe if you want to see more of this type of content. Come back next Friday for the third and final part of this Goosebumps Censorship series, where we'll be looking at 2 Network 10 airings of Goosebumps episodes and seeing what was cut for the Australian audiences.